Hey there! Today, we're diving deep into the world of Navy SEALs to uncover their secrets for developing unbreakable mental toughness. Whether you're looking to crush your fitness goals, excel in your career, or simply become more resilient in your daily life, these techniques will help you build the mental strength of a Navy SEAL. So, let's get started. Before we jump into the specific techniques, it's important to understand what mental toughness really means. Mental toughness isn't about being emotionless or never feeling fear. It's about having the resilience, focus, and determination to push through challenges, even when every fiber of your being is screaming at you to quit. Navy SEALs are renowned for their mental fortitude, and it's not because they're superhuman. They've simply developed and honed specific mental skills that allow them to perform at elite levels under extreme pressure. The good news? You can develop these same skills and apply them to your own life. Technique number 1. Eat the elephant. No, we're not talking about actual elephants here. This technique is all about breaking down seemingly insurmountable tasks into smaller, more manageable chunks. Imagine you're facing a massive project at work, or a daunting fitness challenge. It's easy to feel overwhelmed and want to give up before you even start. This is where eating the elephant comes in handy. Here's how to apply this technique. First, identify your elephant, the big, scary goal or task you're facing. Next, break it down into smaller, bite-sized pieces. Finally, focus on completing one small piece at a time. Don't forget to celebrate each small victory along the way. By focusing on these smaller goals, you're making progress without overwhelming yourself. Remember, every marathon starts with a single step. Technique number 2, visualization for success. Navy SEALs don't just physically prepare for missions, they mentally rehearse every detail. This powerful technique can be applied to any challenging situation in your life. In order to do visualization effectively, you'll want to make sure to do the following. Visualization tip number 1. Be vivid and detailed. Close your eyes and imagine the scenario in as much detail as possible. What do you see, hear, smell, and feel? Visualization. Tip number 2. Engage all senses. The more senses you involve, the more real the visualization becomes to your brain. Visualization. Tip number 3. Repetition is key. Run through the scenario multiple times in your mind. This helps create neural pathways that make the action feel more natural when you actually do it. Visualization. Tip number 4. Focus on positive outcomes. Always visualize yourself succeeding. See yourself overcoming obstacles and achieving your goal. Visualization. Tip number 5. Include problem solving. Don't just visualize perfect scenarios. Imagine potential challenges and visualize yourself calmly and effectively dealing with them. Let's say you have an important presentation coming up. Spend time each day visualizing yourself walking confidently into the room, delivering your points clearly and engagingly, and answering questions with ease. The more you practice this mental rehearsal, the more prepared and confident you'll feel when the real moment arrives. Technique number 3, the 4x4x4 breathing technique. When stress hits, our body's fight-or-flight response kicks in, flooding us with stress hormones. While this can be helpful in short bursts, prolonged stress can be detrimental to our performance and health. Navy SEALs use a simple breathing technique to regain control and calm their minds. Here's how to do the 4x4x4 breathing technique. First, inhale deeply through your nose for 4 seconds. Next, hold your breath for 4 seconds. Then exhale slowly through your mouth for 4 seconds. Finally, repeat this cycle for 4 minutes. This technique helps activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which counteracts the stress response. It's a powerful tool you can use anytime, anywhere, before a big meeting, during a tough workout, or when you're feeling overwhelmed. Pro tip: practice this breathing technique regularly, even when you're not stressed. This way, it'll become second nature and easier to implement when you really need it. Technique number 4, positive self-talk. The voice in your head can be your biggest ally or your worst enemy. Navy SEALs understand the power of positive self-talk and use it to push through extreme challenges. Here's how to harness the power of positive self-talk. Tip number 1, catch negative thoughts. Start by becoming aware of your internal dialogue. When you notice negative self-talk, pause and acknowledge it. Tip number 2, challenge negative thoughts. Ask yourself if the thought is really true or helpful. Often, our negative thoughts are exaggerated or unfounded. Tip number 3, replace with positive affirmations. Swap out negative thoughts with positive, empowering statements. Instead of "I can't do this," try "This is challenging, but I'm capable of handling it." Tip number 4, use you instead of I. Research has shown that using second-person pronouns in self-talk can be more effective. So instead of "I've got this," try "You've got this." Tip number 5, create a mantra. Develop a short, powerful phrase you can repeat to yourself during tough times. It could be something like "Stay strong, push through," or "I am resilient and capable." Remember, positive self-talk isn't about denying reality or pretending everything is perfect. It's about framing challenges in a way that empowers you to overcome them. Technique number 5, embrace discomfort. Navy SEALs are famous for their ability to endure extreme discomfort, from freezing cold water to sleep deprivation. While we're not suggesting you subject yourself to such extremes, there's value in deliberately seeking out discomfort in controlled doses. Here's how you can apply this principle. Tip number 1, start small. Begin with minor discomforts, like taking a cold shower for 30 seconds or holding a plank for longer than feels comfortable. Tip number 2, gradually increase intensity. As you build tolerance, slowly increase the level of discomfort. Maybe extend that cold shower to a minute or try a new challenging workout. Tip number 3, focus on growth. When facing discomfort, remind yourself that you're building mental toughness. Each uncomfortable experience is an opportunity to grow stronger. Tip number 4, practice mindfulness. When in discomfort, observe your thoughts and physical sensations without judgment. This helps build mental resilience. Tip number 5, set specific challenges. Give yourself regular comfort zone challenges. This could be public speaking, trying a new sport, or having a difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Remember, the goal isn't to be miserable. It's to expand your comfort zone and build confidence in your ability to handle discomfort. Technique number 6, goal setting and micro goals. Navy SEALs are masters of goal setting, but they don't just focus on the big picture. They break down their objectives into micro goals, which helps maintain focus and motivation. Here's how to apply this technique. Tip number 1, set a clear, long-term goal. What's your ultimate objective? Be specific and make sure it's something truly meaningful to you. Tip number 2, break it down into milestones. What are the major steps you need to take to reach your goal? Tip number 3, create micro goals. For each milestone, identify small, actionable steps you can take daily or weekly. Tip number 4, make it measurable. Ensure your micro goals are specific and measurable so you can track your progress. Tip number 5, celebrate small wins. Acknowledge and celebrate each micro goal you achieve. This helps maintain motivation and builds momentum. By focusing on these micro goals, you're constantly making progress towards your larger objective, which helps maintain motivation and builds confidence. Technique number 7, mental rehearsal. Similar to visualization, mental rehearsal is about preparing your mind for challenges. However, it goes a step further by incorporating problem-solving and contingency planning. Here's how to use mental rehearsal. First, identify the challenge. What specific situation are you preparing for? Next, visualize success. Start by imagining the ideal scenario, just as we discussed in the visualization technique. Then introduce obstacles. Imagine potential problems or setbacks that could occur. Follow that up by problem solving. Mentally work through how you would handle each obstacle. What resources would you use? What actions would you take? Finally, practice regularly. Run through this mental rehearsal multiple times, tweaking your responses and solutions. This technique helps you feel more prepared and confident, knowing you've already experienced and solved potential problems in your mind. Technique number 8, emotional control. Navy SEALs are trained to maintain composure under extreme stress. While we may not face life or death situations, emotional control is crucial for peak performance in any area of life. Remember, emotional control doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It's about acknowledging your emotions and choosing how to respond to them. Technique number 9, building resilience through failure. Navy SEALs don't succeed because they never fail. They succeed because they learn how to bounce back from failure stronger than before. Here's how you can build resilience. Tip number 1, embrace failure as a learning opportunity. When things don't go as planned, ask yourself, What can I learn from this? Tip number 2, analyze, don't criticize. Instead of beating yourself up, objectively analyze what went wrong and how you can improve next time. Tip number 3, practice self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness you'd offer a friend who's experiencing a setback. Tip number 4, focus on growth. Adopt a growth mindset. View challenges and failures as opportunities to develop your skills and character. Tip number 5, seek feedback. Don't be afraid to ask for constructive feedback from others. This can provide valuable insights for improvement. Remember, every setback is a setup for a comeback. The more you practice bouncing back from failure, the more resilient you'll become. So there you have it. Developing the mental toughness of a Navy SEAL isn't something that happens overnight. It's a journey that requires consistent effort, patience, and practice. But with each small step, each challenge faced, and each obstacle overcome, you're building the mental strength to face whatever life throws your way. Remember, mental toughness isn't about never feeling fear or doubt. It's about acknowledging these feelings and pushing forward anyway. It's about developing the resilience to bounce back from setbacks, the focus to pursue your goals relentlessly, and the confidence to face challenges head-on. So start small. Pick 1 or 2 techniques from this video and begin incorporating them into your daily life. As these become habits, gradually add more techniques to your mental toughness toolkit. And most importantly, be patient with yourself. Building mental toughness is a lifelong journey. Celebrate your progress, learn from your setbacks, and keep pushing forward. With time and practice, you'll develop the kind of mental strength that can weather any storm and achieve extraordinary things. Remember, you've got this. Until next time.